Hello everyone, we're Geek Epiphany, and like a lot of you, we like us some Super Smash Brothers.
And finally, after 58 characters, we have the complete roster for the most recent version of the game. Although, if you're like me, you don't need 58 characters.
You only need one. Damn you, Pikachu. But enough about old characters. We're here today to talk about what any new characters might have been left out. Any kind of glaring omissions that would have been a good addition to the game.
So join us as we prepare to Call Me Mama, and we take one more look at the Smash Brothers roster to see what potential Smashers may have been snubbed.
That was good, man. Have you ever considered a career in music? So I'll go ahead and start us off on this topic, guys, and I'm going to go back to Nintendo's 16-bit days for this entrant. Back when they were very simpatico with another developer that I was very much a fan of, and that was Squaresoft. And the character I would like to bring into Smash Brothers is Geno from Super Mario RPG.
Nice.
Long-running fan favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
Indeed. For those of you who may not have played Super Mario RPG, Geno was a kid's toy who was possessed by
a greater power.
Indeed. And he actually went along with Mario and Bowser and Toadstool and all them, and he fought with you. And as you said, he's been a very fan favorite. And ever since his appearance in Super Smash Brothers, he kind of hasn't seen the limelight much in anything.
Yeah. To your point, he's only had 2 appearances in other games that I'm aware of. He had a very small cameo in the first Mario and Luigi, little appearance in the slot machine game.
Indeed.
And as the Mii costume in the new Super Smash Brothers.
And the Mii costume is
3DS.
cool and everything, but I think they need to go all the way. I mean, this is when Nintendo and Square worked together quite regularly. And while Cloud is a cool character, I like Cloud, he just doesn't have any Nintendo roots. Geno does. So I think you need to bring him back. He could be a ranged fighter, much like Samus. Have different projectile weapons at his disposal. In fact, I kind of thought up a moveset for him for if he were to be in Smash Brothers. His neutral B would be the Geno Beam. It would be chargeable, and it would kind of release much like Robin's Thoron.
Okay.
His side special would be the Geno World, the little flying disc. You could control that. And maybe even the secret in the game was if you timed it just right, you would do 9999 damage to an enemy with it.
Times critical. That's right.
Yeah. So maybe randomly, much like Game & Watch with the Judgment Hammer and
Doing that damn hammer
every so often, you would get a Geno World that would do a little more damage and launch you a little farther. It wouldn't be an instant kill per se, but it would be a little bit more powerful. His up B would be a recovery. I kind of have likened to calling it Shooting Star. He rides a star back to the stage. The star explodes at the end, and he kind of gets a little boost from that to get back on the stage, and it does damage to anyone that's nearby. And his final smash, Geno Flash, where he turns himself into a cannon, fires himself at the center of the stage, turns into a giant sun, and starts raining down beams on all the enemies.
That sounds cool to me. And you know, the interesting thing about this is clearly there was some involvement because he made his way into the newest Smash Brothers as the Mii character costume, yes? Well, in one of the most recent post-development interviews that was done with Sakurai, he actually stated that he personally had a desire to have Geno be a playable character, and things didn't work out that way. I don't know if he didn't elaborate, so we don't know if that's because negotiations with Square Enix said, well, we'd rather have Cloud because he's our most famous Final Fantasy character, or what. So, funny enough, the heart and soul behind the Smash Brothers games wanted this, and it was trying to make it happen as best as he could. So there's definitely some credence there, not only from fan desire, but the developer desire as well. So this is an easy pick, no doubt.
And I mean, you can kind of make like a Geno stand-in with the create a character modes.
Oh, you can.
But even then, it only comes so close. It kind of does make sense to me to go the whole way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you already talk about a final smash?
Yeah,
I did.
I was asleep.
I have a tendency to do that when I talk.
I
didn't try to keep up.
I seriously didn't catch it. I was actually daydreaming about the star one. I was like, that's really cool.
All right, just hit rewind.
Yeah, hit rewind. But no, legit, that moveset that you just laid out was
it's pretty good.
Really, really good.
Yeah. No, it was thorough, man.
I mean,
I
Nintendo,
can see easily as a character.
Nintendo, he just did all your work for you. So.
Yeah, pretty much. Just design that.
That's right. It happened.
Yeah.
So, Gentle Geek Epiphany viewers, I could not decide. We were given a simple task, choose one thing. and I couldn't do it. For you see, I have two choices, and they are both independent candidates. One of which is new to the scene, our esteemed friend Shovel Knight here, and the other, an arguably vintage classic, Shantae. Now, for those of you who are not aware, Shantae was what I would consider the swan song of the Game Boy Color, one of the last games ever released for the system, and it was a beautifully animated, charmingly fun platformer. And it starred a purple-haired genie named Shantae. She could transform into different animals. It had an open world, almost akin to the second Castlevania, except a lot less obtuse. Whereas we have Shovel Knight, who's a newcomer to the scene. His game came out last year, done by WayForward, who have ties to the folks that did Shantae, and as a matter of fact, do a lot of good modern day platform work, such as the remake of DuckTales, for example. But they poured their heart and soul into this game, making it essentially a modern NES game. Not strictly, if you look at the way the game was developed, it's not exactly that, but it carries the heart and soul of your simple hero on his quest. And he gets a lot of Castlevania-ish items, so he has a lot of things that he could do. The bottom line is, I think looking at Shovel Knight, he is the epitome. I think the people that made this game looked at what they grew up with and took the best of everything we grew up with on the NES and tried to distill it into one amazing game. So I'm going to talk just very briefly about why I think both of these would be great candidates, and maybe you guys in the comments could tell me which one you like better. We'll see, because I couldn't decide. So, with Shantae, I think her transformations lend for excellent possibilities for special moves. She's transformed into so many things in her games, because their Game Boy Color game wasn't her only game. She's actually had two downloadable games that made as sequels. So she transformed into elephants to break through blocked off passages. She could turn into a harpy to fly. I could easily see that being up B. Maybe have additional commands being claw swipes, because each of the animal forms could also gain attacks as you went leveled through the game. She could turn into a mermaid. She could turn into a monkey. I could easily see her doing like the Diddy flip and grabbing onto your face and you're raking like that. It would be fun. But in her final smash, there was in one of her recent games, she actually had to try and get her powers back using her lamp. It could be akin to the old Kirby final smash where he sucks everybody in the pot. She pulls her genie lamp out, and if you get caught in the flailing, more like Luigi's final smash, actually. You get caught in it, do the damage, and do your thing. So that would be interesting. But there's lots of possibilities there too. Maybe her final smash calls in her nemesis Risky Boots, and while they're duking it out on the stage, people who are caught in the crossfire take damage as they fight it out. Who knows? Shovel Knight. Now Shovel Knight I think is interesting because the items that he gets, it's like I said, it was kind of Castlevania-ish, but it's almost more like Mega Man because there was an item hidden in each stage. So you got an item that was themed to the stage, but it didn't directly come from the boss knight that you were facing. So he would get things like an anchor that could be thrown up in the air, a little bouncy ball that bounced around everywhere. He could regain health. He had one move who I think would make a good place for a counter. He had a little amulet that would make him invulnerable for a few seconds. So you hit down B, you don't necessarily do a counter, but you're untouchable for maybe 2 seconds or something like that. And I think what makes Shovel Knight interesting is, aside from this wide repertoire of moves that he has, his final smash. My favorite part of Shovel Knight was the final boss fight when you finally rescue his beloved Shield Knight. And she is no wallflower. She shows up, and you realize that they were a pair for a reason. You cannot beat the final boss without her help. She uses her shields to block the devastating attacks coming from the final boss. And you pogo off of the shield and bounce onto this giant monstrosity. So the Shovel Knight cannot win this fight without Shield Knight. So Shovel Knight's final smash calls in his beloved Shield Knight. She hops around blocking other players' attacks so that Shovel Knight gets clear lines of attack. I think it would be a unique final smash and a great callback to one of my favorite gaming moments I've had in recent times. So, gentlemen, what do you think?
Well said.
I think I can't decide, much like you.
Yeah, I think either one would make great characters. I mean, I think they both easily would fit into the Smash Brothers roster.
Yeah.
There's an obvious wealth of moves that you can pull from both of their games, and they're also like themed and they're whimsical. I'd say they'd fit in art-wise. Like, it'd be easy to get them to match. Like,
excellent.
The overall look.
You could very easily believe that these were first-party Nintendo properties. If
Oh,
nobody
he's-
told you otherwise.
Oh yeah, dude! If this was like 20 years ago, I can guarantee you that they both would be at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I could have a good time electrocuting either of those with Pikachu.
As you would do. Yes.
Until he called in Shield Knight and where's your beloved electricity now?
I would just
Pika
love
Rage!
I would
Final
just,
smash!
I would love to see Pikachu get hit with a shovel. So I think I have a favorite.
I think
If
you
that
have-
could happen, please put Shovel Knight in the game just so I can hit the rat with a shovel.
Fair enough.
So I was looking through kind of the older Nintendo roster. I was looking through Super Nintendo games in particular and trying to find out some of the third-party characters that existed back then that really haven't been used as often for various reasons. There's a lot, obviously, but one in particular I think Nintendo used to be pretty buddy-buddy with, but that franchise kind of went into the gutter, and it's never really been brought back well, sadly. And that is Bomberman. Like, if you remember back in the day on the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, Bomberman was the party game. Indeed. I mean, people bought multi-taps for the Super Nintendo just for that game, so they could play 4 players and bomb the poop out of each other. Now, what's fascinating is that I think Bomberman is a uniquely Nintendo character, too. Because he did have games on other systems. He had it on the PlayStation, he had it on the Genesis. But every iteration of those games, in the Xbox, let's not talk about Bomberman Zero. That was just.
The funny thing is, the Bomberman game I have on the Virtual Console, I think, was on the TurboGrafx.
Oh yeah,
bonk for Smash.
I think
it's been on there too.
Oh, it has? Oh, okay. Well, never mind. So anyway, Bomberman's gotten around, is what I'm saying. But despite that, I think it's the best ones in the series were definitely on the Nintendo. That includes Super Bomberman 2, Bomberman 64, even Bomberman Hero, which wasn't that great. But
Bomberman 64 was such an overwrought anime drama.
Yes, it was. No, it was fantastic, and that's the thing. That's kind of where I'm pulling from because Bomberman is uniquely 4 players, so it's already the mechanics are already set up in there. Not to mention, Bomberman 64 had a 3D rendered Bomberman using a ton of really unique moves that you could easily just lift and cut and paste and put in Smash Brothers. Like, you could easily use any one of the bombs that he had in Super Bomberman. You can have those as any variety of B moves. So you can have remote bombs or timed bombs or ones that have really long flames, or he could just get a speed boost all of a sudden, or he could like throw out power-ups as one of his moves and you have to pick them up, something like really unique.
Hell, so do you remember the Wario Land Bomberman game?
Yes,
he could
exactly.
even ride motorcycles in that one,
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
He could be Wario Club.
And that's what I'm saying, is that like, no, that's the
I'm
point
kidding.
Well, no, that's what I'm kidding with, is that like Nintendo was really buddy-buddy with that character for a while because there was some crossover. Yeah. There was a Wario and Bomberman game that there were 2 versions, kind of like Pokemon, where one was Wario and Bomberman, the other one was Bomberman and Wario.
Really? 2 versions of that game?
Yeah, there were 2 versions of that game, yeah.
Okay.
So what's crazy is that like I think he's just kind of been sadly left in the corner to rot and die because Xbox did such a terrible job with keeping his franchise alive. But I think that there's a lot you can pull from there, and I think his moveset is really easily borrowable with all the different types of bombs he can lay, all the different types of moves he has in terms of moving around. And his final smash could be pretty simply just exactly what it was in Bomberman 64. You take a big red bomb that's a powered-up bomb, you pump it up to the size of the stage, and you just put it in the middle of the stage. And then when it blows up, everyone goes flying. Yeah, have fun with dealing with that. So I think that it could definitely fit well in the Smash Brothers roster.
But I think what you touched on is a very good point. That these Bomberman games, they are multiplayer fair in general. So we're bringing a character from a multiplayer game and putting him in another multiplayer game. It works perfectly.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there could be any real problems with adapting it for the playstyle. You know, that's the biggest thing is mechanics. Mechanically, can you get Cloud from an RPG to work in a fighting game? They did, obviously, with the Cydia, so I think that's why it lended itself even further for Smash Brothers. But
Snake kicked the door in, and Snake proved that just about anybody was going to
viable.
Be available for viable. That's correct for Smash
Side
Brothers.
note, I really miss Snake. Oh, bring him back. That's my favorite character. Snake away. That's something very satisfying about just holding a grenade and then putting it inside of a Pikachu and then just being like, yeah. Anyway.
Something more satisfying about watching grizzled badass takes himself way too seriously Snake getting his ass electrocuted by a 2-foot-tall mouse.
Truth. And then him picking the mouse up and then just breaking its neck and then putting a sticky bomb on it, flying away and blowing it up. All of that is just comical as hell. So yeah. Ben, take it away.
Alright, so I was looking at lots of different characters. I wanted to try to keep it in Nintendo. And so I was thinking, well, there's the Castlevania series that originated on Nintendo. And then I considered something maybe independent, like the Castle Crasher Knights. But then I looked up on my Blu-ray case, and staring me right on the face was my answer. And so my choice for a fighter who deserves the Smash Brothers treatment is Wreck-It Ralph.
Thanks, Ralph.
You moved my stuff. What I considered was, after Snake and after Bayonetta and after Cloud, it kind of blew the whole concept of it has to be Nintendo directly to hell. And so I figured, well, why not Wreck-It Ralph? And for anyone that contends that it's not a real video game, I say, yes, it is. They released at D23 when Wreck-It Ralph first came out at D23, they released an actual, not Wreck-It Ralph, Fix-It Felix Jr. game that you could go and play. And after the convention, they moved it to Tomorrowland and Disneyland, and you used to be able to go and do free play and do Fix-It Felix Jr. And it was a real game that you could actually play and actually win and actually lose.
And I don't know if you know this, Ben, but there's actually precedent here too. Did you have you ever heard of it? Did you ever play Sega All Stars Racing?
Oh yeah, he's in there.
Yes,
Sonic All Star Racing.
It was an excellent racing game. A good kart racer, transforming vehicles and everything. It was a very good game. And Ralph was one of the characters in the original version of this game. Not even a secret bonus character.
Yeah, just straight up. Yeah.
You know,
that is where his vehicle from Disney Infinity debuted. Actually, was in that game. His little wrecking truck.
So there's some precedent there.
There is.
Absolutely.
And not just that. I mean, you don't even have to make an amiibo for him. There's already an Infinity figure. So
we've already got the Sky Amiibos, so
why not?
Infinimiibos.
And so what I'm envisioning is different smashes just being variations of pummelings. Well, I did dream up 2 Final Smash. So Ralph gets that Smash Ball, and in one of the Final Smash versions I thought up, whoever gets caught in his attack to activate the Final Smash finds himself in the center of Ralph's 12-step program group.
The Badanon.
The Badanon.
Badanon, that is correct.
Surrounded by video game supervillains that briefly say the 12-step pledge.
I'm bad.
And that's good. I'll never be good. And that's not bad. And then you get jumped by everyone. It's amazing.
Because they're bad, but it's good.
But then the one I liked best is Ralph gives you a good solid punch that plants you in the ground. Vanellope Von Sweets comes in on her go-kart and runs your planted head over. Then you get shot by a barrage from Calhoun from Hero's Duty. And then after you've taken all this horrible damage, just the icing on the cake is Fix-It Felix Jr. jumps on screen, taps Ralph with his hammer, and all of Ralph's damage goes away.
That would be pretty OP, but I mean...
All might be a little overkill.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to reference all of it.
Well, yeah, but a percentage of the damage goes away.
Yeah. Would it be safe to say, Ben, that if they made Wreck-It Ralph and put him in the game, that you might actually play as him and give Pikachu a little bit of a rest?
No.
All right, then.
I'd be all over
I tried,
Ralph.
guys.
And just to spite you, I would pick Ralph and then mercilessly beat Pikachu with him.
You would try.
Hey, I have been Wreck-It Ralph, all right?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. In real life. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Geek Epiphany folks do cosplay now and again. Anyway. We were talking about ideas for this episode ahead of time. We all, and we may be spoiling it here with our props, but came to the consensus that there is one set of characters that really should be in Smash, and that is Banjo-Kazooie. One of the most important set of characters from Nintendo's N64 era. They belong in the game. These are childhood icons of mine, and I'm just gonna spiel and vomit Banjo-Kazooie love all over you unless somebody starts talking coherently because they were amazing.
Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie gave us 2 perfect video games. Say whatever the hell you wanted about Banjo-Kazooie. Those were flawless games.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they were amazing platformers for the time. Rare was at the top of their game, and they arguably created what is...
Can we pour one out for them?
Like,
is that...
what hasn't been poured out for them now, man? Like, there has been so many, like...
I'm sure.
Yes, exactly.
No offense, Rare. We know that you guys keep trying, but you do what you could do.
Yeah, but, like, what happened? Are you drinking, like, just the worst fetid water and you guys have brain amoebas? Like, what happened?
No, they all went independent. That's why I am a proud backer of the ukulele Kickstarter, for example.
Actually, yeah. Fingers crossed. It's very promising.
I will say that growing up with Nintendo as I did break off at the N64 era, and I had a PlayStation.
Oh yeah,
so I did not.
Whatever.
No, he followed the Siren Song of Final Fantasy. It's
Interloper.
Right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And all the great Square RPGs that came out there, maybe except Chrono Cross, but that's another time.
Hey, Chrono Cross is arguably
Dragon computers make perfect sense and shut the hell up otherwise.
But I recognize the impact that Banjo-Kazooie have on Nintendo. And when thinking about this topic, I thought of some old Rare characters that were around in Nintendo's day. And I just kept thinking, well, Conker, Joanna Dark, James Bond.
Yeah.
But I kept back to Banjo-Kazooie. I think they are the most perfect fit for Smash.
Well, and Rare's NES catalog was actually
roster.
huge. They went under a ton of different publishers. They made RC Pro-Am. They made infamously Battletoads. Everybody knows Battletoads. But there's so many games they had under their belt. But really, the first characters they made their own.
Yeah,
Honestly.
was Banjo-Kazooie.
Right.
We could have a Smash Brothers character for Battletoads, just no one would be able to beat them.
It's true.
That's true. They're every special attack would instantly just turn the stage into the hover bike stage,
And then
Wolves would come from off screen and pummel everybody until they flew up the stage.
People forget it wasn't the hover bike stage that killed everyone. It was the buzzsaw racing stage that killed everyone.
Yes.
It was like stage 5. That thing, no human can beat it. It's not possible. I don't care. It's not possible.
They
by
can team
human.
with the NES Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, well, that was just the third. That was just the second stage was hard. After you get past the water level, it wasn't that bad.
Or in the instruction book that tells you need to push this specific button to
Yes.
play the rope between stages. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
9-year-old me is so confused.
It's such BS.
But with Banjo, actually, Mike and I came up with a fun final smash for Banjo that involves our friend, Witch Doctor.
Mumbo.
Mumbo.
Ekumbokum.
That's what he sounds like.
Mumbo, you bring enough puzzle pieces to Mumbo, and he turns you into something else, like an animal. Usually is what it was.
There was the perhaps more humiliating pumpkin transformation when you got flushed down Lago the toilet.
Yes,
Truth.
Or the washing machine. But yes, those would not be really apropos of Final Smash, unless, to Sean's point about Game & Watch, perhaps once every 1,000 times it flubs and you're just flailing around as a washing machine. But as a Final Smash, you need something grandiose. And from Pterodactyl Land in Banjo-Tooie, we have...
the Tyrannosaurus.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
That would be pretty awesome Final Smash.
I could see Banjo-Kazooie working as a team-up character, much like the Ice Climbers or the Duck Hunt.
True. I can see him just kind of keeping Kazooie in his backpack and just using him as like a support.
Shoot eggs.
Yeah, well,
Like, it'd
eggs,
be
the
like-
pets,
Oh, they're the
the-
Banjo-Kazooie
Vital to his
moveset,
recovery. as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
totally.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy one there.
And I think other YouTubers
Yeah,
have
Marcos.
outlined like exactly the moveset they would have, and a lot of people have talked about it so much so that even the head of video games on Xbox was like, "Yeah, Nintendo's never asked, but we'd be okay with it." But they never did. But that was like too little, too late. So.
Right. And I guess that what I'll leave you, our dear viewers, with is that the Banjo-Kazooie characters were such a core part of Nintendo's identity when they were really, really pushing to have a robust catalog on the N64. Does anybody remember what games the N64 launched with? You got 2, and that was it for about a year.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
It
to
was
be fair, it took
really
you about
bad.
a year to beat Mario 64.
but point being, guys,
Fair enough.
they were a core part of Nintendo's. They lined them up with Mario and Link and Samus. They were there. If you guys remember your Super Power catalog, that's where those guys came from, right there. Holy shit, I'm old. But point being, not only do they have a varied moveset based on their stupendous games, but they are a key part of Nintendo's history, and they would be beautiful in Smash Brothers.
Well said. And I think we basically all have some decent characters that could work in Smash Brothers. I mean, this is a franchise that's obviously not going anywhere anytime soon, so maybe this is just food for thought for next time. If, they really are done with DLC like they say they are. And honestly, Sakurai, it's done an amazing job. This game, Smash Bros. 4 is like one of the best in the series, in my opinion. And
Could stand more Snake.
despite that, I love the game even though it doesn't have Snake in it. That says a lot.
That's right.
But I'm sure everyone that's watching this has their own opinion of who could also be in DLC or possibly a new Smash Brothers game when the next one comes out eventually. So write down below in the comments what you think. What did you think of our picks? What picks do you have? And what do you want to see in the next Smash Brothers?
Sounds good to me. Thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, keep us going. We love making these videos for you. Tell us what we can do to make you, the viewers, happier.
And be sure to check out as well the Geek Epiphany Facebook page.
Yep. We spent a lot of time writing stuff on there.
Indeed. Outside of these videos. We always got something to say, so check us out.
Worst Smash Brothers character.
Worse?
If you were to just see this
that's a
character in
good
Smash Brothers and wonder how the world got turned upside down and this character got into Smash Brothers.
Glass Joe.
Oh no, even better. I got it.
Glass Joe.
Glass Joe.
Glass Joe! Yes! Dude,
He's like
Sean,
the little
that
Mac.
was awesome.
He's a little Mac clone. That just like none of the punches do any damage.
Right.
His punches heal you.
And every time you take a hit, 50% damage fly off the screen.
That's awesome. Candy corn.
You beat the French out of him.
Oh, you beat the French out of him.
Screw that. I want the trainer from Punch Out.
Yes.
What's your favorite flower? Mine's chocolate.
Hey kids, join the Nintendo Fun Club today.
That's his final smash. He just throws Nintendo powers at you.
He makes you run behind his bicycle until you pass out of exhaustion.
That would actually be kind of funny, because
would
what
be.
if the screen scrolled faster than you could move, and you had to like try and keep up with him as the New York screen went by, and if you got drug off the screen, you like it was
Just
a
like,
KO?
that's it?
That would be funny, actually.